13 years old, I had braces, I knew all of 4 people in my brand new school of 45, grades K through 10, and had barely heard of, let alone read, most of the books on my required reading lists. My first day in Mrs. Sowell's Latin class, she greeted our class warmly. Salvete discipuli. The class responded accordingly. Salve, magistra. Sorry. Come again? I felt like everybody had been handed a script on the way in the door and I'd somehow been overlooked. I was more than intimidated. I felt like I was in way over my head and I would never catch up. We fear what we do not understand. I know several of my friends at Regents have been teased or ridiculed for choosing such an unusual educational venue. I have been fortunate enough to escape any truly harsh criticism, but when people discover that I go to Regents, they ask first about classical education, about uniforms, about class size. Inevitably, the question becomes, why? Why would your parents pay for you to subject yourself to that kind of emotional and mental strain on a daily basis? What is that, like death by homework? Isn't it hard? Well, to be honest, yes, it is. But the purpose in coming to Regents Academy was not to take the easy way out. And for me, the most difficult aspect of my educational experience at Regents was not the sleep sacrificed or leisure time laid aside in favor of Thucydides, Euclid, Newton, and Aristotle. It's not all the hours I invested in revising papers, or poring over founding documents, or working calculus problems, again, and again, and again. The most difficult part of my time at Regents Academy is now. Standing here before you, when my time here has finally come to an end. The promise of this moment is what fuels many high schoolers through the tedious lectures and endless hours of homework. But for me, it has come all too soon. It made my remaining days in school pass too quickly and rendered seemingly inconsequential moments heartbreaking because I recognized that they were the last of their kind. As I graduate, I leave behind on a solitary building atop a hill, filled to capacity with mismatched desks, mounds of papers, and people who daily force their way through sleep depravity, with a family and a home. I am grateful to each and every one of you tonight for the role you played in shaping me as a rhetorician, an orator, a mathematician, a linguist, a scientist, a teacher, a leader, a musician, a writer, an athlete, a classmate, a niece, granddaughter, and cousin, a friend, a daughter, a sister, and ultimately, as a person, by challenging me to view mediocrity with the same contempt as failure and insisting that I never settle for less than my best, I am able to stand before you tonight as a cadet candidate at the United States Military Academy at West Point. By living your lives as people of excellence and integrity, you have made my life a series of rewarding experiences, culminating in the most rewarding and most challenging experience yet, West Point and military service. I am grateful for the time I have been given with you, and I urge all of you, especially my classmates, my sisters, and my friends, to recognize these moments as precious and few, and cherish them accordingly. Set your priorities, decide what's important, and live your life in light of those priorities. I would feel that my time before you now was wasted if I did not make it clear to my classmates how lucky, how blessed we truly are. It's not always fun, and it's rarely easy, but every now and then, stop, take a look around. There's something extraordinary happening at Regents Academy. The people there, both teachers and students, board members and parents, are of a rare and rapidly depleting sort. People who are strong, honor-driven, God-fearing, who love learning, and more importantly, love you, and want to see you succeed in the greatest ways possible. principle. The people you are now are only one step in the evolution of the people you will become. You're forming your futures, but don't waste the present. Remember that both the big moments and the little ones count. Write down the things that Mr. V says that leave the class rolling, and David Henry's punny remarks in trig class. Especially remember to write down everything that Mr. Bentley says, as long as it's prefaced with, "Now I don't want you to go out of here saying," and make sure that everyone knows that he really does approve of everything Social Security and both the Presidents Roosevelt ever did. And when he says, "You know where I'm going with this," and you have no idea where he's going or how he got there in the first place, just smile and nod. On my last day at Regents Academy, I was 18 years old. I wasn't wearing braces. I knew the name of every student in the school, and I had read, discussed, and understood the works of C.S. Lewis, Socrates, Homer, George Orwell, Eusebius, and Dante. And even a year out of practice, when my older sister and I visited Rome over spring break, I was able to translate a large majority of the Latin phrases we found, both in the ruins of Vesuvius and in St. Peter's Basilica. Ordinarily, valedictorians take this opportunity to address their class. Well, there she is. But since this is no ordinary school, no ordinary time, I have tried to address all of you here tonight, especially to thank you for all you have done. But now, I will speak to my class. Emily, as we embark upon this foreign path, I know we're both terrified. We've had countless conversations to this effect. But more important than our fears and insecurities is the fact that every person in this room cares for us and wants only the best for us, has helped us to prepare to take these steps, turn these tassels, and step into a new phase in our lives. Winston Churchill once said that without measureless and perpetual uncertainty, the drama of human life would be destroyed. Neither of us enjoys uncertainty, worry, or change, but it's important for both of us to recognize that it is a quintessential part of not only growing up, but of life itself. Churchill also said, "When the eagles are silent, the parrots begin to jabber." We two eagles have been given all the right tools, as well as the training to use them well. Let us never be silent when we should speak. For, as Dale Carnegie once said, most of us have far more courage than we ever dreamed we possessed. Our families, friends, and teachers have given us everything we need. Now it is up to us to find the courage within and take flight on our eagle's wings. Congratulations, class of 2008. We did it.